Alright, folks, in tonight's Burning Dollhouse main event, it's the RWL Women's International Championship on the line here with Angie Angel Gunz, the reigning title holder, facing the challenger, the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington, for the Women's International strap.
After losing her bid for the Snarl Women's title 2 months ago, Georgia's back tonight, going after the Women's International title, by way of an open challenge, issued by Angie Angel Gunz, and Georgia Washington, wants it badly. Word is, she's been training like never before for this one, but let's see if it all pays off for Georgia. I'm favoring Angie naturally, but Georgia has a way of picking up crucial wins.
She's taken out more than one opponent utilizing that Rocket's red glare finisher. And she has defeated a few big names using it, including Rockin' Robin most recently. Now can Georgia Washington utilize all this training and all this stuff to her advantage to snag the Women's International Championship from Angie Angel Gunz? Well, all that remains to be seen, but to her credit, Georgia Washington is looking very much in... Oh, here we go again. Using Willie Johnson as slave labor, for crying out loud. Georgia Washington. No wonder she is so unpopular. Kurt Angle left her. Nobody really seems too interested in her other than her wrestling ability. I don't know. Anyway, Georgia with a huge opportunity here for the Women's International title for the first time. I'll see how she does against Angie Angel Gunz.
The Yankee Rose definitely looking very much in shape this evening, but I know that on the flip side, Angie would never have issued an open challenge if she didn't believe herself ready to defend the strap. Doesn't matter if Georgia pulls off a big-time upset or if Angie retains the belt, but Georgia Washington is in for one of her toughest matches in her almost 10 months with RWL.
I think that's a pretty fair assessment of things, Wally. Angie Angel Gunz, of course, successful in relieving Jody Warwick of the Women's International Championship, and ever since, she's been holding on to it with both hands. Let's see how she does tonight against the Yankee Rose, who is definitely primed and ready for this Women's International Championship matchup.
Ladies and gentlemen, this evening's main event, one fall with a 20-minute time limit, is for the RWL Women's International Championship. The challenger from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, here is the Yankee Rose, Miss Georgia Washington. Her opponent from New York City, she's the reigning RWL Women's International Champion. She is Angie Angel Gunz.
Well, guys, I'll tell you what, this main event, both these participants coming into this one bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go. I mean, look at Georgia Washington. She is positively shredded. She has been training like a maniac for this match. Willie Johnson getting ready to call this one right down the middle here. Oh, man, what a main event. The ref rings the bell. Georgia charges, fails to connect. Tags Angie with a hard couple of shots across the chest. Angie counters with a couple of chops of her own, a kick to the midsection. Locks up. Georgia Washington counters with another kick. Angie whipped out onto the apron, counters with a hard right. Gets herself back inside the ring. Georgia Washington quickly taken down. Here's a cover one. Whoa, well now. We see where this one's going to go. Georgia Washington rounded up by Angie Angel Gunz. Angie locks her up. Headlock punch to Georgia Washington. She goes behind on Georgia. Georgia counters with an elbow, moves in, goes behind on Angie. Angie escorted to the ropes by Georgia Washington. Georgia raping her between the top and middle ropes with a little surfboard stretch. Down goes Angie Angel Gunz. The women's international title on the line here. Georgia slams Angie's head to the canvas. Georgia Washington takes herself all the way up to the top. Here we go. Beautifully executed moonsault by the Yankee Rose. Here's a cover. 1, 2. Well, now. Gonna be a whole lot of near falls in this bad boy. Georgia Washington over the top rope. Crossbody on Angie on the outside as the referee starts the count. Angie Angel Gunz in trouble as Georgia Washington starts driving knees into her leg. Georgia Washington with a kick to the side of Angie Angel Gunz. Angie shoves her away. Both boots, gets up on her feet. Referee trying to get the ladies back into the ring. Good luck with that project. Back suplex to Georgia from Angie. Angie Angel Gunz pitches her into the ring steps. Oh, man. What a confrontation we got here. Georgia with an elbow and a chop across the chest to Angie. Angie catches a kick to the midsection from Georgia. Another series of shots. And look at this. Whoa! What a sidewalk slam from the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington. A chop across the chest to Angie. Another. She goes behind on Angie. Classic wrestling takedown. Right on the floor. The referee continuing to count. Georgia Washington talking trash to Angie. Stomps her in the back of the head. Now Angie Angel Gunz really starting to lose control of things here as Georgia Washington twists her head and neck. The Yankee Rose, satisfied she's done enough damage, takes herself back inside the ring, takes herself back outside the ring. Okay, I guess she's not satisfied. A leg drop across the throat of Angie Angel Gunz, a stomp to the chest from the Yankee Rose, Georgia Washington. Georgia rounded up in a counter dragon screw from Angie Angel Gunz. Angie rounds up Georgia Washington. Finally gets her back inside the ring. Let's see if the chaos subsides here. Angie taking the long way home. Georgia Washington comes out of the ring again, goes after Angie. Series of rights, series of shots, and a chop block to the leg. Georgia still talking trash to Angie Angel Gunz. She is after that women's international title. Hard shot from Angie Angel Gunz to the midsection of Georgia Washington. Another kick. Winds her up. Neck breaker drop on the outside. And again, referee Willie Johnson counting both these ladies. Angie gets Georgia back inside the ring. Takes the long way home. Wonder what she's thinking right now. The Yankee Rose goes back outside. Kick to the midsection of Angie. Angie locks her up. Has her up. Slams her face down into the floor. Angie Angel Gunz rounds up Georgia. Georgia counters with a kick. Gets a hold of Angie. Got her up. Rib breaker from the Yankee Rose. Georgia Washington continuing to work on the legs of Angie Angel Gunz. Georgia rounds up Angie. Locks her up. Gets her back inside the ring again. I don't know how long that one's going to last. Georgia Washington talking trash again. Oh! Catches the shoulder. They're fooling around on the outside of the apron. Angie misses with a move. Tags Georgia with an elbow. Goes behind. Georgia counters with an elbow. Goes behind on Angie. Has her up. Knee breaker from the Yankee Rose. Georgia Washington with a handstand pair of knees into the chest of Angie Angel Gunz. Again, referee Willie Johnson counting as Angie counters, gets back up on her feet. Face first, flapjack into the floor for Georgia Washington. Angie Angel Gunz with a measured double axe handle across the back of Georgia. Angie rounds her up again. Gets herself back inside the ring. Takes herself back outside the ring. Gets a hold of Georgia, drives a knee into the head of Georgia Washington. Flips her over, flips her back over again. And now into a heel hook stretch on Georgia Washington on the outside. What a women's international title match we got going here, folks. Angie rounds up Georgia. Head first in the ring post time with the title on the line. You can play it anytime, even if you're 99. Into the ring post time, into the ring post time, into the ring post time, into the ring post time. We got a lot of requests for that. Georgia Washington rolls Angie Angel Gunz back inside the ring. And she is looking more determined than I've seen her in a while. Angie comes back out, goes behind on Georgia. Has her up, pays her back the knee breaker with another one. Angie rounds up Georgia, has her up. Ooh, inverted atomic drop right in the baby maker. Georgia rolled back inside the ring by Angie Angel Gunz. Angie takes herself to the top turnbuckle here. Here we go. Diving elbow across the lower back of Georgia Washington. Angie rolls her over, covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Well, sir, Angie Angel Gunz retains the Women's International Championship over Georgia Washington.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time was 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Your winner, and still, our WL Women's International Champion, Angie Angel Gunz.
I'll give Georgia Washington her props. She put in a solid effort, but it just wasn't good enough against the Women's International Champion, Angie Angel Gunz, wrapping this one up in 6.5 minutes to retain the championship. Just wow. Angie is amazing.
Okay, fans, we really hope you've enjoyed tonight's Ladies' Night special. Thanks for being part of it, and remember that our next RWL Wrestling show will be RWL Snarl on Saturday night, July the 12th, with Wally Cardille, Johnny Bianco, and Tex Lynch. For all of us here at RWL, I'm Christy Ogilvie, thanking y'all again, and we'll see you next time.